Welcome back to the channel, y'all. If this is your first time to the channel, this is the #1 and original Living in Galveston, Texas channel. Hi, my name is Shari Hensley, and I'm a realtor living and working right here on beautiful Galveston Bay. My team and I, we get calls from people just like you who are looking for information on places to live and local advice, and I absolutely love it. I love sharing my love of Galveston Bay with you. If you're thinking about buying a new home and want to make sure you don't get taken advantage of, or if you are ready to buy a new home, you really must watch this before you sign that contract with the new builder. Y'all, you want to make sure you watch this video for a full breakdown of the process and make sure you're protected when purchasing your new home. Most people have purchased a home, a resale home, and I'm here to tell you that the buying process for new construction is really totally different compared to the buying process of a resale home. The biggest unknown for new construction is, when will your home be ready to move in? When will it close? To be perfectly honest, there's a lot of moving parts to any real estate transaction, and it's certainly no different when it comes to new construction. So as your real estate advisor, I want to make sure you're fully aware, especially of the timeline. Today, I'm going to share 5 steps to buying new construction. Now, I want you to make sure you watch till the very end because I'd love to hear from you to see which step is the most important for you and your family. Okay, so here we go. Step number 1. Y'all, this is really important. You want to hire a real estate professional that has expertise in new construction. Did you know that it costs you absolutely nothing, not a zilch, to hire a professional to represent you for your new home purchase? Now, I gotta ask you, if it doesn't cost you any money, why wouldn't you hire a real estate professional, a realtor, or a real estate agent? You really want a realtor. You want them to be able to walk you through the entire process, step by step, and answer all the questions you may have. There's a big misconception that you as a buyer will get a better deal if you don't work with a real estate agent. Now, I'm here to tell you, well, that's just not true. The commission that the buyer's realtor receives from the home builder is separate and set aside as their commission, and it really doesn't impact the purchase price of your new home at all. Did you know that hiring a buyer's agent has huge benefits? Well, for starters, they're going to know all the right questions to ask the builders in order to negotiate the best deal for you when it comes to your purchase agreement. Next, we're going to move on to step number 2. Have your real estate agent schedule an appointment with the new home builder in the community that you're most interested in. You want to make sure your realtor's with you on your very first visit so that they can get you registered with the builder and ensure that you are able to get that representation by that realtor that has accompanied you. Now, if you do not visit the sales office with your realtor on the first visit, in most cases, you will not be able to get representation by your realtor and you are on your own. Now, like I mentioned before, you want to get representation when purchasing new construction or a resale because you want to have your realtor vouching for your wants and your needs. They're going to advocate for what you want. The builder's rep works for the builder. They're not concerned about you getting the best deal possible. I've had buyers get so excited they've gone to the sales office without me and then they wanted to move forward with the purchase agreement. You want to work with a realtor that has the expertise in new construction, one that has relationships with these builders, because there's going to be times when you're going to be faced with uncomfortable situations, discussions, and decisions. Next up, step number 3. After you've toured the model home and you've identified the floor plan that will work best for you and your family, here are the questions that you want to ask the new home sales consultant in regard to the price of the home. First, what is the price of the home? What is the lot premium that you're going to add on top of that base price? Do you currently have a spec home that has a faster close for this particular floor plan that I like? Which lots are currently available for the floor plan that I want to build on? Now, here are some questions you want to ask yourself and your family. What's our timeline? Do you need a spec home with a quick move-in? Or do you have the flexibility to build a brand new home, keeping in mind that there could be some delay? Are you currently renting with a landlord that's super flexible and you can go month to month? Or Do you need to move out of your current home ASAP? Step 4, who doesn't love a discount? We all love discounts, don't we? I know I do. I definitely want to get some deals or promotions or discounts when it comes to my new home. Now, after you've confirmed the purchase price of your new build, here are the questions I would ask the sales consultant in regard to incentives. To clarify, incentives are like promotions and deals that the builders will offer you in order to close the deal. Now, let me walk you through some of the possible incentives that you could ask for. Builder incentives. Now, the builders may be promoting their incentives online or at the sales office, so make sure you ask what their builder incentives are. Are they offering to cover a portion or all of your closing costs? And those closing costs are about 3% of the purchase price. Are they offering interest rate buy-downs? Since interest rates have gone up, builders are using buy-down and interest rate promotions to attract buyers. We've seen interest rates have gone up and builders are offering those promotions like $599, $499, $399 on ARM financing in order to attract these buyers. I just closed a brand new home in Lagomar and we negotiated a VA buy-down of $5,949, $399 on an ARM. Y'all, that's a huge savings for my buyers. So make sure you ask the builders, what kind of incentives are you currently offering? And note, some of these incentives may be for a limited time only. So you want to make sure you're aware of how long that incentive is good for and make sure you're able to make a decision in a timely manner depending on that builder to take advantage of those incentives. I do want you to be aware that these builder incentives may be attached to using the lender of their choice. They're going to be working with these incentives and they're usually offered when you're working with the builder's preferred lender. They may want you to work with the builder's title company and they'll pay your title policy by the builder. I gotta tell you, there shouldn't really be any difference in the title company you use, but I've found that some of these title companies, if they are builder owned, they don't always have the best customer service or even acknowledge an email. So make sure you have a realtor who is representing you, advocate for you, to look into it and see if there are further requirements in order to take advantage of all the builder incentives available to you. On spec homes, it's really difficult to get the builder to make any changes. So make sure you see the design boards and you're aware of all the features your model offers. The end of the year is always a great time to purchase a home. Builders may have a certain quota that they need to meet by the end of the year, or maybe they just want to move all their inventory homes out before the end of the year and start 2024 on the ground running with new starts. So make sure you keep that in mind and have your realtor look into that, especially if you have the flexibility of waiting till the very end of the year and see what those incentives may look like. If you choose to work with a lender, that preferred lender with the builder, there may be additional incentives. I know last year in that seller's market, the builder would usually offer 2% in your closing costs and the lender would give you another percent towards your closing costs. So you had a 3% for your closing costs. Now, with the shift in the marketplace, you'll be very surprised to see how much more the builders and the lenders combined will give you in order to close a deal. Now, don't forget about cash incentives. What if you're purchasing that brand new home in cash? You want to make sure you ask about cash incentives because builders, just like sellers in the resale market, may have something special for cash buyers, and then again, they may not. Cash is golden in all transactions, and you don't have to rely on the financial institution to lend you money, and it can close quicker. So when you pay cash, you also skip the appraisal process. So it's a quicker close, and the builders and the sellers also seem to like that. This is a difficult one in this market, but have your realtor ask about design credits. Does the builder offer any design credits, and if so, how much? Now, I've had builders offer my buyers anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 in design credits in order to seal the deal in the past, and it's really going to depend on the market we're in. For my buyers, that was absolutely an incredible offer because they definitely wanted to make some upgrades in that inventory home, like upgraded flooring, cabinets. So just make sure you ask questions. How can you help me? So let's talk about that lot premium. I always remind my buyers that the purchase price that you see advertised on the website or even on different signage is really just the base price. It's not an all-in price of the home that you want to purchase. Now, in most cases, the advertised price is usually the price of the smallest floor plan available in that particular community. What's added on top of that base price is the lot premium, structural upgrades, design upgrades. Now, I advocate for my buyers to have a fully sodded backyard. You don't want to actually have an unfinished backyard. With some builders, when you purchase your new home, your backyard is unfinished. So it's basically a dirt lot. You're going to get dirt all inside the house, all inside your new house. So based on the different HOAs, you have anywhere from 6 months to a year to finish your backyard. So that's an added cost that you need to be mindful of, especially when you're purchasing a new home in an HOA like Lagomar. In my opinion, every line item on the purchase agreement is negotiable, and we surely try. So for that lot premium, I would definitely ask the builder to see if there's any wiggle room on the price of that lot. Now, lot premium ranges, and I've seen anywhere from zero lot premium all the way up to $150,000 in lot premium. Funny story, years ago, I was showing my buyers this beautiful luxury community in a high-end West Houston neighborhood. And when we asked what the lot premium was for this beautiful lot overlooking a lake, the sales consultant said it was $150,000 with a straight face. I grinned, and I gotta tell you, for a second, I thought she was gonna yell, "Psych!" She wasn't joking at all. I felt like Fred Sanford. "It's the big one, Elizabeth." I literally almost fell off my chair. So just so you know, there are lot premiums that could go up to $150,000 because of the resale value that this new home could have in the future because of its location. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. So now let's talk about spec homes. A spec home is a specification home that the builders build based on their most popular floor plan or most popular structural upgrades, and they speculate what a buyer may want. Some builders call these inventory homes. Spec homes or inventory homes, unlike model homes, are available for purchase right now and can have a quicker closing time rather than waiting 6 or 8 or 10 months for this home. So maybe this spec home will be ready to move in the next 1 to 3 months. So for those of you that are moving here for a job or selling a home and you don't really have the flexibility of building from the ground up, you have a certain timeline, a spec home may be for you. In my opinion, there's a little more room to negotiate on these inventory homes because the builders may be interested in getting these inventories homes sold to close out that community, or maybe it's toward the end of the month or the year and they want to close that out or start a new section even. So make sure your realtor asks these questions regarding spec homes and see what kind of discounts might be available and when you can get a closing and almost ready home. I see a lot of values and opportunities in purchasing a spec home in December. I had a builder reach out to me and tell me that they had to sell these spec homes by the end of the year and they were offering some great incentives. Comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on inventory homes. Are you interested in a spec home? Do you want me to look into some of these new communities that are offering these spec homes right now and are available for sale for you? Make sure you comment below or contact me or my team. It doesn't matter if you're buying a new home or a resale home or buying in Texas or anywhere in the U.S. Reach out to me and I can get you a great referral. If you're enjoying this content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that little notification bell so you can join our real estate community and you'll never miss another episode of our content. All right, now let's keep going to step number 5. Now that you've confirmed your purchase price and all the incentives are offered by the builder and the lender, and it's time to sign the purchase agreement. The purchase agreement is going to be drafted by the sales consultant and it's going to be emailed to you for electronic signature. Please make sure your realtor reviews the purchase agreement with you. You want to make sure that you ask any questions you may have on the agreement before you sign it. Make sure you address the following questions with the sales consultant and your realtor. When is my home going to be completed? The purchase agreement will not have a specific date for completion now. Why, you may ask? Well, because the builder doesn't want to be responsible or liable for a specific date that they promise that the home will be delivered by. The builders also want to protect themselves in the event of delays. And I got to tell you, delays are going to happen, y'all. If we have an extended period of rain, it could definitely cause delays. There are so many moving parts to building a home. Having a great communication with your realtor and your builder's rep is vital. Now, each builder is going to give you a time frame of what to expect as far as completion date of your new home. I've seen anywhere from 6 to 9 months for builders like, let's say, in Lagomar, and maybe 13 to 16 months for more semi-custom homes. Now, you can expect delays, and you should expect delays. Absolutely, there is no doubt about it. I don't want to sugarcoat it. I don't want you to be upset. As frustrating as it is, it's really just life. I recently closed a spec home in Lagomar with a reputable builder, and the initial finish date was 12/14. As it turns out, the whole dang team had some nasty upper respiratory RSV thing going on, and it was the end of the year. So based on that finish date of 12/14, my clients booked a third-party inspection for 12/10 and a final walkthrough for 12/12 and a closing date of the 29th, and that would give the builder 17 days with the holiday to get anything fixed. The home inspection continued to get bumped out due to the home not being finished. I think it got bumped out 3 times. We were finally able to book the third-party inspections on the 27th, a final walkthrough the morning of the 28th, close the afternoon of the 28th, and fund on the 29th. That was something. You can see that's a 15-day delay. It was the end of the year. It was the holidays. What you want to do is make sure that not only the builder and the lender have good communication, but also the title company. Builders will offer to pay you 1% of the title policy fee if you use their preferred title company. Title companies are all licensed by the State Board of Insurance, but the quality and level of customer service, like with most things, can vary. If you're moving from out of state and selling a home, be prepared to make arrangements for a short-term place to stay just in case of builder-lender delays, especially if you're trying to close the end of the year. If you do have the luxury of building from the ground up as far as timeline goes, once groundbreaking happens, this is when the sales consultant is able to advise on a better timeline, and when it comes to like getting your framework, when that will be scheduled, when your new home orientation will be scheduled, as well as a better guesstimate of closing. Now remember, this is like penciling in a date. Don't use a pen. Once the framework has begun, the builder is going to schedule an appointment with you as the buyer and your realtor, and I would recommend your third-party home inspector to walk the home during the framing before the drywall happens. Now, I want to stress this again. I highly recommend you as the buyer to attend with your realtor and a third-party inspector. This is an opportunity for you to see the house and make sure all the specifications, all of your upgrades are met when it comes to structural on top of structural. This is an opportunity for you to walk the home. Make sure the AC and the plumbing and the electrical is all in the right place. Yeah, okay, let's say you've upgraded your laundry room to a mop sink or a dog wash station. Make sure you go to the laundry room and make sure you see the plumbing. Make sure the plumbing for the upgrade is stubbed out. You want to see where it's going to be installed before they drywall. If you have upgraded or maybe added an additional bedroom or a theater room instead of a loft, you want to make sure that during that framing inspection, when you walk through it, you go up the stairs. Make sure you can see that a wall is framed in to be enclosed for what will be that additional bedroom. Does it have a closet or the theater room? Whatever it is, look for the details for that upgrade. I've got to tell you, I've gone through walkthroughs where we were missing walls. Yes, we were literally missing walls. Y'all, it's very, very important to make sure you take the time out of your very busy schedule to attend these walkthroughs, because after drywall stage, Can you imagine the hassle to then add or remove walls or plumbing or electrical? Please hire a third-party inspector for new construction or resale. He or she will come out all stages of new construction. They're going to look at the plans. They're going to look at what the builder is doing. It does not hurt to have a second set of eyes watching the builder. This is your home. Now, if you can't attend in person, make sure your realtor attends. And in my case, when I work with buyers from out of town, we either do a Zoom video call or a Duo Messenger call or Facebook Messenger video call, and we go through the entire walkthrough together. The buyers and I are asking questions throughout the whole process with the superintendent. Now, the builder superintendent is literally managing the construction and working to meet the standards of the builder. So generally the builder superintendent, the buyer in person or via video call, and I walk the property. So we do this at each stage, including the third-party home inspection and the final walkthrough. This is part of my concierge service. Now, here's a question I get a lot. When is my first payment due? A lot of my buyers will ask, and really that's a great question. It doesn't have to be right away. Now, if your home, let's say, is closing mid-month in January 2024, your next payment or your first payment will not be until March 2024. It's going to skip all of February. It is not February 1st like a lot of people think. It actually skips the month, and your first payment is due the following month, March 1st. You will pay interest until the end of January at closing. It'll appear on your closing disclosure. Then once you close or going forward, you're going to pay your monthly interest in arrears. So in March, you're going to pay for February. For some of my buyers, I think it's very important to know because many of them are relocating here from other places. They're waiting to get reimbursed from an employer. They don't want to take money out of their savings, their 401k. They've got it locked up in CDs. Whatever it is, it's important for everyone to understand what the time frame is. Like when it comes to moving and packing and even hiring people to help them relocate. It gives you a little bit of a cushion, and you can always tuck it away in savings. Some of my buyers ask, am I married to the interest rate when I sign the contract? The short answer is yes. As your real estate advisor, I'm going to go over the documents provided to you by your lender. Now, I mentioned that 4.99 interest rate. Remember I talked about that earlier? But did you know that promotion was actually not for a 30-year fixed rate? It was actually a promotion that they're offering for a 7-year ARM. There's a lot of different incentives that are offered by the builders, but there may be some loopholes. So make sure your realtor and your lender goes through all of the documentation with you so that you're fully aware of what the terms are. There really are no dumb questions, so if you got a question, ask. So really the answer to this question is yes, because whatever you sign up for is what you're locked in for. So whether it's a 7-year ARM or it's a 30-year fix, you'll be locked down with that interest rate. Now, it's not forever. You probably have a prepayment period. So if you really wanted to refinance, if the rates really drop low, when the rates do go down, and I think they will, I highly recommend it. As your real estate advisor, what questions or things should I have in writing from the loan officer or the lending company and the builder to ensure that my monthly payment doesn't change? I have my buyers ask me about the monthly payment. Now, once you've signed the contract and you've reviewed with your lender your monthly payment, I'm going to also go over that with you. We want to ensure that everything looks good. And once you've agreed to those terms, nothing's going to change. Your monthly payment's not going to change. Y'all, that's one of the reasons why home ownership is great, because you know your monthly expense. It's not going to fluctuate. Unlike when you're renting, the landlord has the ability to increase your rent, right? I think a lot of us experiencing that right now, and there's so many unknowns because you don't own that house. But when it comes to home ownership, you are able to budget and understand what your monthly expenses are. Because once you've signed that agreement with your lender, it's set in stone for whatever the term is. So whether you're doing a 7-year ARM or you're doing that 30-year fixed mortgage, that payment will stay the same to the end of the term or you refinance. Are design and structural upgrades, are those final when I sign the contract, or do I have wiggle room to make modifications? Now, that's an excellent question, and I got to tell you, if you are buying a spec home, more than often, you are not going to be able to make any changes, and I'm talking about not even paint color. Now, if you're building from the ground up, the builder will offer a design appointment, and maybe you have some flexibility there when you are literally creating your own custom dream home. Now, if you're finding this list helpful, please drop me a comment below. Okay, y'all, we're going to get right back to it. Let me know if you have any additional questions when it comes to new construction before signing the purchase agreement. I'm always more than happy to address everything with you until you are 100% comfortable with the purchase agreement. And then you will at that time sign that purchase agreement electronically, and the builder will request an earnest money deposit to be wired to the title company for open escrow. Now, this earnest money deposit is going to be applied towards your down payment. The earnest money deposit can vary by builders, but what I've seen in spec homes is anywhere from $2,500 to $50,000. Sometimes it's a flat fee for like $7,000, and sometimes it's a percentage of the purchase price of the home, and some builders in Lagomar, it's $2,500. I hope you've got some value out of this one, and if you did, hit that subscribe button and join our wonderful community. Thank you so much for all of your engagement. I read and respond to each one of your comments, so keep them coming. Thanks so much, and I'll see you on the next one.